Happy Sabbath. It's really a great honor and for privilege for us all to be again here at Plantation. And I'm the director of the publishing. I want to send you greetings from the publishing, from the conference. I'm the publishing director of the Florida Conference, from Elder Colley. And it's just so wonderful to be here at Plantation. You have no idea what an impact this congregation makes on these young people. Elder Colley has even said that this group of young people going over Florida is one of the biggest evangelistic efforts in the Florida Conference. It's amazing. And these young people will make contact with over 400,000 people in Florida. By the time they finish next week, they'll have made contact with that many people. So I want you to hear some of their experiences. So I'd like to have Alex and Olga Mateus come forward, and we're going to share. Let's see if we can get them a microphone. And we'll start with Olga, because Priscilla's going to translate for us. So, Olga, you told me that you were a little not too motivated on a certain day. You're having a little bit of a rough time. And so you made your way into this industrial complex, into a business, and you wanted to canvass the owner. Now, this was a business that has this natural grass, kind of like in a football field, you know, the artificial turf. So that's what they did. So you went to the secretary. You said you wanted to speak to the owner. She said, no, we have no soliciting here. And, well, couldn't you just speak to the owner? And she said, it's not going to happen. He will never see you. It's just not going to happen. So you were a little dejected by that. You started to walk out, but you had prayed before you went there, something special to happen. So before you got out the door, you stopped in your tracks. And so tell us what happened.
Salir de ahí,
Like Evangelist said, I was just about to leave that place,
pero algo muy fuerte me dijo que tenía que detenerme.
but something real strong told me that I had to stop.
Entonces di la vuelta y regresé donde la recepcionista
So I turned around and I went with the receptionist,
y literalmente le rogué para que me dejara hablar con el dueño de la compañía.
and I literally begged to her so she can allow me to speak to the owner of the company.
Y ella seguía insistiendo en que no se podía, eso era imposible.
But she kept insisting that could be possible, that it was impossible for her to go.
Pero llegó un momento en que yo creo que la fastidié
But it came to a moment where I think I got her tired,
y accedió.
so she accepted it.
Fue a llamar al dueño y le dijo que yo quería hablar con él.
She called the owner and she told him that she wanted to talk to him.
Entonces él le dijo que me hiciera pasar a la sala de conferencias y que ahí esperara por él.
So he told her to take her to the conference room and for her to wait for him.
A este punto yo estaba muy feliz porque que él me hiciera pasar a ese lugar ya era algo importante.
By that point, I was very happy because for him to take me to the conference room was really very good.
Entonces esperé por él, arreglé mis libros en la mesa y pues practiqué lo que iba a decirle.
So I waited on him, I prepared all of my books on the table, and I practiced what I was going to tell him.
Entonces le hice el canvas de todos los libros y él parecía interesado en todos.
So I told the canvas to him of all of the books, and he seemed interested in them.
Entonces él me dijo, bueno, te voy a ayudar con 2.
So he told me, okay, I'm going to help you with 2.
Y hizo su donación en línea por medio del website.
And so he made his donation online through the website.
Entonces cuando yo vi la cantidad que él había donado $100.
And when I saw the receipt, the amount he donated $100.
Solamente por 2 libros, así que yo no sabía qué hacer.
He donated that only for 2 books, so I really didn't know what to do.
Entonces solo hice lo que siempre hacemos.
So I did what we always do.
Le pregunté si quería que orara por él.
I asked him if I could pray for him.
Y él me dijo, claro, puedes orar por mí.
He's like, of course, you can pray for me.
Entonces, pues oré por su familia, por la prosperidad económica de él, su negocio.
So I prayed for his family, for the prosperity of his business.
Y esta es la parte más bonita de la historia,
And this is the best part of the story,
porque cuando abrimos los ojos,
because when we opened the eyes,
él estaba llorando
he was crying.
y me dijo que era la oración más linda que a él habían hecho
He told her that that was the prettiest prayer someone had ever done for him,
y que habían pasado años que alguien no oraba por él.
and that it had been years since someone prayed for him.
Entonces yo salí de ese lugar
So I walked out of that place,
y estaba muy agradecida con Dios
and I was very thankful with the God,
porque yo había orado porque algo especial pasara
because I had prayed that someone special would have happened,
y porque yo pudiera oír la voz de Dios claramente.
and that I could have hear God's voice talking to me.
Yo pude haber pasado ese lugar y pues irme porque la señora, la recepcionista dijo que no solicité.
Because I could have left since the receptionist told me that it was no soliciting, so I could have left.
Pero no lo hice porque Dios tenía algo preparado para mí en ese lugar.
But I didn't because God has something prepared for me in that place.
Lo que yo quiero que ustedes recuerden de esta historia
What I want you guys to remember from this story
es que cuando abrimos nuestro corazón a Dios
is that when we open our hearts to God
y dejamos que Él nos guíe,
and we let Him guide us,
Él puede hacer cosas grandes con nosotros.
He can make big things with us.
Amen. Thank you, Oka. That's what you call being persistent. Now, Alex is a medical student, and so you were having a pretty rough day, and you were behind on some of your donations and everything, and you found yourself going into a really nice restaurant. So you went and you canvassed the manager. He wasn't interested. He said he couldn't do anything. But on your way out the door, you saw a group of about 15 businessmen having a lunch together, all dressed in suits, professional, and the thought came in your mind that you should try to canvass them. So you tried to get the manager, but he was gone. So you saw the waiter, and the waiter gave you some permission. Well, I guess you could say something, and if they're not interested, then don't bother them. So what happened from there?
All right, then. There you go. Hello? Hello? Okay, better. All right. Then I was about to leave that place, but I saw these like 15 gentlemen. They look like really nice, and I thought like, well, it's a good opportunity to go over there and talk with them, you know. So, as Uncle Les said, I tried to talk with the manager, but he couldn't listen. I was like, hey, sir, and no answer. So I went with the waiter and asked her, and she told me like, all right, you can go over there, but just like ask him if you can talk with him, and if they say yes, go ahead. But if they say no, well, you have to leave. And I was like, all right, that's perfect. So I went with these guys, you know, and I was like, well, I did the canvas. Hello, my name is Alexander. I'm a medical student from Montemorelos University. And I told them, like, if I was allowed to talk with him, they were, sure, go ahead. So when I was doing my canvassing, showing all the books, I saw that a man was coming by, like, at my back where was a really mad-faced man. It was coming, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble. You know, because and when I realized it was the manager, he was really, really mad because it was like an exclusive restaurant. And he told me, what are you doing here? I told you to leave. We're not interested in you bothering my customers. And then at that point of the day, like, I want to tell you guys, at that point of the day, I was really down. Like, nobody helped me. Everybody was, like, really rude with me. But at that point, I started feeling really bad. And I was like, all right, I'm sorry if I bother you guys. I'm going to leave. But some tears start, you know, getting out of my eyes. I don't like to say the word crying.
He never cries.
You know. And basically, the man just once told me, like, this is a not soliciting place. And then I just saw one of these guys off the table just to stand up. The manager was coming here. And the guy that stand up from the table, he just stand up in front of me, and he told the manager, he's not soliciting, we solicit him. And I was like, whoa. Wow. You know, I was like, wow, what's going on? Like, I couldn't believe it. And then the manager insists, like, no, you have to go get out of here. And then all these 15 gentlemen stand up and told him, like, he is one of us. He's an invited. And so he is going to stay here because, like, we reserve this place. And I was like, wow. So at that point, you just imagine, at the beginning, I was just having some tears, and I was like a baby. And I just remember that I had like 4 books in my hand, that's it. And then the other hand, I was just like this, you know. And I just saw how these guys start getting like 2 books that were cooking books. They just got them. And then the other hand, they started to put 20s. You know, a lot of money. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Because before entering to that place, I prayed to the Lord, and I told him, Lord, I cannot feel your presence with me. Show me that you're with me. And then, like, they started to do that. I couldn't continue my canvassing because, you know, the voice when you're crying, it's like, just not good. So, well, I just told them, like, thank you guys, I appreciate it. One of them told me, you're doing the best job ever. Because when I was like 20 years ago, I did what you're doing, and it's the best thing you can do, and God is gonna bless you. And I was like, what are these guys? Like, are they entrepreneurs or what are they? So then I was about to leave, but I saw a guy that he had like a flame, you know, like the Adventist church. And I asked him, like, hey, are you Adventist? No, but before that, I tried to give them a lot of In Search of Peace, which is the steps to Christ, to everybody, because I was like, you guys need to know about Jesus and everything. They just started laughing and they didn't want to get it. They were like, give it to someone else. But I told them, like, are you Adventist? And they just started laughing. And they told me, we all are Seventh-day Adventist pastors. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, all of them were Seventh-day Adventist pastors. They came from Asia. Like, they were just for a conference 2 days, and they were about to leave there. I think the ones that runs the Asian conference. And they told me, like, God is with you, keep going. And what I can get from this, the lesson that I can get, is that even when you feel alone, you'll never walk alone. God is with you.
Amen. And you know, Alex, you told me that gave you courage to go out and meet all these people who don't know these things, and you had one of your best days.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. So, Mateus, you had an experience where you went into a coin laundry, and a lady was folding some clothes, and so you started talking to her.
So, yes, I was at this coin laundry place, and the lady who worked there, she was sitting, and she was folding clothes, which was her job. So I approached her, I sat in front of her, and I saw that she had a Christian book at the arm of the chair. So what I did was I presented the book that he said, In Search of Peace, which is our version of Steps to Christ. And after I presented all the books, she said, well, I really wanted to help you because you said this money goes towards your school, but I really don't have money to help you right now. And I was like, well, that's not a problem. Can I pray for you before I go? Because I like to pray with everyone. And then she was like, yeah, sure. So I asked what she wanted me to pray for, and she said, I want you to pray so I can be a warrior of God. So I prayed, and at the end, she had this big smile on her face, and I was like, and she said, what you just did to me right now is worth 1,000,000 more times than a book. You gave me a prayer, and for the first time of my life, I felt the presence of God, and I can see that God is with you, and you said you're working with these books to pay your school, and I can guarantee you that you will go through school, and God will help you.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you very much, all of you. Beautiful experiences.